Hi. Let's go out. I, yes. This is Cinderella 2 review. Movie opens up with the mice going to the Cinderella's fairy godmother's to listen to the Cinderella story, and they miss it. So, fairy godmother gets a good idea for them to write a new book for Cinderella stuff. So these, no, it's the mice like that's a good idea. You know, they have, but they don't know how to write books. So they help with the help of fairy godmother and the other talking mice. They make another Cinderella book with several stories inside. Anyway, the first one is Cinderella after Cinderella's guest man and the prince after they come back from the honeymoon. Cinderella has to put him on this feast, but she's doing everything wrong, and she realized she has to do things her way to get things done. And it works, and everyone's happy. And the next story is this mice becomes a human, and he wishes he was human because he can't help Cinderella anyway. He feels completely useless. So Fairy grants his wish and he's human again. Jack is human now, but he realizes being human kind of sucks, and he's still afraid of cats. Cats still trying to eat him, and things not going his way. And at the end of that story, he finds out that he finds out that being human is like not really that great, and Fairy Godmother says, "This is your chance to help Cinderella. What elephants afraid of? Mice." And Fairy Godmother says, "Are you a mouse or mice?" And he says, "Mice." And he turns back into a mice, and he gets a kiss from his mice girlfriend who made him a purple jacket. And so he's got mice in there. Meanwhile, this it cuts back and forth between these stories, and the mice magically putting the book together. And so the last story is once Cinderella stepsister falls in love with a baker, but this, let's see, the falls in love with his baker, and this Cinderella means evil stepmother says that she's forbidden to see that baker again. So Cinderella sees how miserable, and sees how much how much the baker likes her, and sees how much she likes the baker, and goes to helps her stepsister out, and while the mice, they help Satan out, which is the cat's name, that falls in love with this other cat, and they dress him up in same scene with Cinderella. They're dressing them up for them look nice, and giving them both of them getting a little bit of makeovers. Nice. So how does the cat? Well, things go well with the cat. I mean, and the cat that he falls in love wants the mice that they made a deal with. If he helps them, if he helps the mice says you like her, right? Well, if we help you, you have to stop chasing us. Deal. So, okay, and after it all works out well, the female cat wants the mice. So they both chase after the mice, and he catches one, while the other one, she gets wet over the mice, and doesn't catch any, and dumps him. And and the stepsister goes to the baker, and the baker gets something they both get something for each other, sort of like a little flower thing that they get for each other. And the baker's talking to this girl that's a friend of his, and talking about how she'll love it, and the Cinderella's stepsister thinks of something else, so she goes to cry, and Beppy Boppy Boo, things work out well. And Big Bob with the mouse finish the book, and go to bring it to Cinderella so she can read it to them. And that's how the movie ends. You know what? There's enough time. I'm going to review Mother also. Okay, now this is a little weirder than the other movie. And weird is the one word to describe this movie, weird. Anyway, so it opens up with the house, and this girl on fire, Jennifer Lawrence, and opens up with this girl on fire, and the house rebuilding itself, and Jennifer Lawrence waking up from a nap, and the movie the camera has this kind of Tyler and Jennifer Lawrence camera throughout the entire film, so we're seeing everything through Jennifer Lawrence's character point of view, and things get weirder and weirder. Like, there are people come in houses, And her husband, that's a writer that acts like it's no big deal, and one by it gets bigger and bigger, one after the other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 5. Oh, 1 egg, 2 eggs, 3 eggs, 4 eggs, 5 eggs. It's basically an egg salad of a mess that you keep on like wondering, guessing of till the end of what the heck is going on. And at the end of the film has a very and after later on in the film, as more and more guests come in, and one of these the first guest comes in and he throws up in a sink, and when Miss Jennifer Lawrence cleans the froze up it, but the next day he's fine, and the next day Michelle Pfeiffer comes, and then their sons come. One of them gets killed, and he asks, says, "You understand, right?" And he leaves, and um and but he comes back late for his wallet. And as more and more guests come into the house gets more and more damaged, and Jennifer has to take this, her character has to take this powdered stuff in the drink and put it in a drink. Each time the house gets more and more damaged, and and at some point when Jennifer Lawrence is like unclogging, seeing there's rats in the sink, where she posts in, and there's rats in the toilet, and 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 as people come in, the house gets more damage, and yeah, to a point where it looks like has a hellish vibe. It looks like to a point when it starts to look like hell. When everyone's coming in, and there's people like there's SWAT teams like fighting with people, and the people getting shot down. And this is after Jennifer Lawrence has had a baby by her husband basically raping her, but that's how I guess they do it. That's I guess how this couple rolls. Rape is sex, and she enjoys it, and she gets pregnant the next day, and that's when the things got weird. And anyway, and also back to what I was saying, and there's people like they're saying help us, and they're locked in cages, and there's like nothing to unlock it because there's like one lock on it and nothing on, like there's no unlocking the stuff, and the house is confined, and when I say it has having more of a hell fight, it as gradually confined to looking more like hell, and by everyone is, and then everything like going to chaos. Although Jennifer Lawrence did say she'll prepare for the apocalypse. Wait, does she knew? Never mind. Anyway, um, and her husband managed to write a story. Also, Lawrence loved it, and so did a lot of the people did, I guess. Which they show up, a bunch of people show up on his stores. Back to the place. Anyway, anyway, she says she's about to have the baby, and she wants to be alone when she has the baby. And which brings us back to, well, where I was before, the house. California, she's trying, and she managed to finally find her husband, and they get some quiet time, and the baby is born, and her husband doesn't want them to go away. Even when she asks her husband like several times to make them go away because he listened to them, and he doesn't want them to go away, and he wants them, and he wants to hold the baby also, and Jennifer Lawrence doesn't really seems to trust him character, and oh yeah. Oh, so anyway, Jennifer Lawrence stalls by breastfeeding the baby. Then Jennifer Lawrence very eventually falls asleep, and the baby's missing. And the husband gave it to the crowd, which the baby's head snapped, and she knows the baby's extreme, and then she realized they're eating pieces of the baby, and she calls them all fucking monsters because, well, yeah, and and then they start beating her up because she's like because she just takes glasses and stabs them, and then they start beating her up and calling her the C word. So, yeah, and stuff like this. and her husband ends it, and it says we must find a way to forgive them, and she just says, and she like just like screams no. It says, and she says, this time you get the hell out of my house. If actually she like, get the fuck out of my house this time, and she goes down. She gets grabs the lighter, and she goes down to the basement, and her husband says, "Don't do it," and she says, "You don't, not as much as I have loved you," and she lights the house on fire, and you see Jennifer Lawrence actually burnt and fire, and is all burnt up, and he's carrying her, and he with no burn marks. And she asked him, "What are you?" It was this, "I greatly you were home," and so he asked if your love still did, and she said, "Take it." So, and he takes it by opening up her chest, and it's glass, and it's a shapely glass. Her heart is a kind of like a gem glass, in the shape form. It's weird, and he puts on a shelf in the house, rebuilds itself, and this new girl, she wakes up to be, and by the way, the glass is the same thing that he was showing to this fan earlier, and him and his wife went up to his office and showed her in a broken. He was pissed. So Jennifer Lawrence is the spirit of the house, basically. And the other guy's the devil, her husband. And the question is I mean, I think the girl that Jennifer Lawrence is, I think the girl that's at the end, that's not Jennifer Lawrence, that's a different actor, is the same character though. I could be wrong though. So that's my review of Mother.